It's Friday, April 12th, 2024, and this is the Washington Times front page. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. O.J. Simpson, the football star and actor acquitted of charges he killed his ex-wife and her friend in a trial that captivated the nation in the 1990s, has died. Simpson's family announced his death on social media due to prostate cancer. He earned fame and adulation through his college and NFL career and show business, but his legacy was forever changed by the June 1994 knife slayings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman in Los Angeles. He was later found liable for the deaths in a separate civil case and then served 9 years in prison on unrelated charges. Simpson was 76 years old. Federal agencies used only an average of 12% of their headquarters space in Washington, D.C. last year, according to a new report. Sean Salai reports the Independent Public Buildings Reform Board said workers sent home by pandemic shutdown policies haven't come back to the office. Occupancy rates last year were less than a third of what they were in 2019. The Department of Agriculture, with space for more than 7,400 employees at its D.C. headquarters, averaged just 456 workers, or about 6% occupancy. The Departments of Labor and Veterans Affairs, along with the Environmental Protection Agency and Nuclear Regulatory Commission, also came in at less than 10% occupancy. The best performing agency in the study, the U.S. Agency for International Development, was using just 26% of its space. A Mexican drug cartel used death threats to force a tribal leader to back out of testifying to Congress this week. Stephen Dinan reports the president of the Fort Belknap Indian community in Montana told the House Natural Resources Committee he didn't want to name the fellow leader who backed out, but said the threat seemed real and credible. The committee held a hearing Wednesday to examine cartel operations on reservations, saying it had contacted other potential witnesses who declined to testify for safety reasons. The cartels have drawn increasing attention due to the unregulated situation at the southern U.S. border, which experts say has enriched the organizations. Federal researchers working in a government lab famed for helping produce the atomic bomb during World War II are now focused on what some see as a new, equally existential threat to humanity: artificial intelligence. Ryan Lovelace reports the Oak Ridge National Laboratory established a new AI security research center last year to focus on the promise and perils of the technology. The lab is empowered to focus on a broader array of dangers. It has partnered with the Department of Homeland Security and the Air Force Research Lab. The Manhattan Project, which developed the first atomic bombs, birthed the lab in the hills of East Tennessee more than 80 years ago. And finally, Alex Sawyer looks at the push to put former President Trump on trial more rapidly this year. It took a median of 26 months from the time charges were brought against a felony defendant in Washington until a jury trial, according to data from U.S. courts last year. Trump's 2 federal cases were initially brought in June and August of 2023. Prosecutors have a goal of holding trials before this November. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.